In this session, we will be talking about crowdfunding. Already, many of us may be aware of what crowdfunding is and might have used it with success, with limited success. This session basically exposes those of us who are new to this concept to better understand how it works and how we can capitalize on it. The objectives of this session are to deepen our understanding on crowdfunding as an alternative funding model and also to capacitate us with the know-how to successfully implement this model within our respective organizations. We hope that by the end of this session, we would have understood the various types of crowdfunding and will know how to use crowdfunding as an alternative funding model, and we will be able to create an organizational action plan. Crowdfunding refers to capital raised through social media and marketing campaigns. It requires that you pitch your project idea or your organizational strategies and get funding from people. This could come, for example, through natural disasters. You want to intervene. For example, if there is a landslide that is ravaging lives, ravaging homes, and your organization wants to intervene. If there is a hunger crisis, if there is a crisis that is making people, forcing people out of school, and you want to intervene, you can. If there is a global pandemic like Ebola or like COVID-19, and you want to intervene, you can tap into crowdfunding as a means of generating resources to advance the goal of your organization. There are different types of crowdfunding, and these include reward crowdfunding, lending crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, and donation-based crowdfunding. Some of the benefits that are associated with adopting crowdfunding approaches involve hedges risk. They are free to set up. They are easier, to implement as compared to traditional donor funding. They help us to grow the pot of donors for non-profit, so we expand the donor base for non-profit ventures, and it is equally a marketing tool for our respective organizations, and it is a way to request capital in small amounts from many people, because with crowdfunding people can pledge, people can commit to very little, as little and to the best of their abilities, yet in the end you will get a massive pool of support from many more persons. Crowdfunding is widely used by civil society organizations in North America and Asia, and to a little extent, it is used by those in Africa. In North America, based on global statistics of crowdfunding, in North America, they're using crowdfunding to raise as high as $172 million. In Asia, they are able to raise about $105,400,000. In South America, they're about of $857,400. In the Oceania region, the civil society organizations have been able to raise about $688,000, and in Africa, we've been able to raise about $241,600. So it's important for civil society organizations in Africa, in West Africa, to know that, a lot of resources have been generated through this means, although small in a comparative fashion. It still provides an opportunity we can tap into. Potential organizations that can make use of this model include humanitarian organizations, service delivery organizations, research organizations, advocacy organizations. And there are some basic steps that we need to adopt to be able to put this into force in our respective operational plans in raising funds. The first is that we need to plan the campaign. Second, we need to decide on a theme. Third, we need to map and tap into our networks. What are the available networks we have, and how can we tap into those networks to generate the resources that we need? We need to develop a marketing plan and a strong pitch, and we need to choose the right platforms. Are we going to use Facebook? Are we going to use Twitter? Are we going to use SMSs? Are we going to use existing platforms like GoFundMe? Are we going to use existing platforms like Global Giving? You decide on the right platform to use. Then you initiate the campaign, and once you initiate the campaign, you need to continuously boost the campaign. So you accelerate your efforts, and of course you analyze the gains from the campaign that you've launched. There are the key challenges associated with this is the poor IT staff training and fundraising skills. So many of our organizations have limited information technology capacities, and we don't have adequate capacities in local fundraising. So it is important that we can tap into the existing training on Change the Game. Visit the website www.changethegameacademy.org to take the course on local fundraising, and this can boost your or strengthen or enhance your fundraising skills, and it can give you the right tools and tactics that you can leverage on to complement your crowdfunding approach. Also, there is the lack of widespread philanthropic culture in case of individuals in our context, particularly at the grassroots level. So that could be a challenge that is worth exploring how you can navigate. Then there is the political sensitivity of human rights organizations work that may be a major barrier to mobilizing support from the local business community. There is often this frictional perception of civil society's work, civil society being perceived to be an opposition to government's initiatives. And so with such, some funders, some private sector contributors may not be willing to associate with your campaigns, especially advocacy initiatives, because they can perceive it to be a source of targeted infringements on their operations by state authorities. So with such perceptions, it can hinder the degree of success that we can achieve. All to note that crowdfunding is a key resource mobilization tool that exists for our organizations. Crowdfunding for civil society organizations are generally donation-based and reward-based, based on the campaigns that we initiate. And through proper long-term planning and strategic focus, crowdfunding can provide financial support for civil society organizations. So why not think about how we can start using this option, this approach at this moment for our organization. Once again, revisit visit the assessment that we've shared, and take an assessment, and it will help you to know how much you've retained from this session and how well you can be able to apply it within your organizations. Thank you.